What's going on, everybody? I am back with another video. If you watched the last one, you saw that I just got into this part. Just a little refresher. My name is Cleo Kuzlin is the guy that I made. I made him a warrior. As you can see at the top, it says this is like the last thing that they just said. So before I get into that, just give like a little bit rundown between what was going on before my character walked in. That is my dad in the yellow, and then that is his old friend on the right. So there's this rising of Darkspawn in the south, which Darkspawn, I get. Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings, which I love? Kind of like orcs, kind of, not really. But they're massing in the south of Ferelden, which is the country you live in, and the king has called upon your dad, and just like a lot of lords, Terrans, and the land barons, stuff like people like that, to come together and help them with that. So the last thing that somebody said was Arhal was speaking to me. He said, "I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad." I'll just be polite and said, "And you, Arhal?"
My daughter Delilah asked after you.
Ooh.
Perhaps I should bring her next time.
I'd like that, you know.
Good. She goes on about
Hey guys,
your prowess as a warrior. I think you
I'm a
have
little
an
bit-
admirer, young
I'm a
man.
little bit of a flirt.
At any rate, Pop, I
So.
summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle.
What? Why can't I go with? Why can't I go into battle with you and Fergus? Fergus is your brother.
I'm certain
My
you'd
brother.
more than prove yourself, but I am not willing to deal with your mother if you join the war. She'd kill me if I let you go. She's already twisted into knots about Fergus and me going.
If you don't send me, I'll kill you. Very well. I'll do what you think is best. I'll concede.
Now, that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
Love that.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Kuzland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention
So
that
Terran
Grey
is a
Warden
title
would
of
be
people
present.
who own
Duncan arrived just
are in charge
recently.
regions of a land. His first name is not
Is
Terran.
there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
He said they were a small order, no longer. Oh, no. They are an order of great warriors that defeated the Darkspawn long ago. Is there a region I should care? I'm going. For the most part, I'm not. My character's not going to be a dick. We'll say they're an order of great warriors.
They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about.
So, Dad is a little protective about me joining the Grey Wardens, which is an order of great warriors. Well, is there a reason I shouldn't join them?
You did just finish saying that Grey Wardens are heroes, old friend.
I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone?
Of course.
In the meantime, find Fergus and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me.
I'd like to stay and talk to Duncan.
You'll have plenty of time after we're gone. We must discuss the battle plans in the south. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
So, like, probably, like, now this probably be, like, seen as, like, really disrespectful, especially since, like, I'm a grown man at this point. But, it's just how they talk back in, like, well, I mean, like, in olden times and shit like that. But, so, a couple things I'll, like, disclose right now. I know everything about this this game. Like, I know, like, plot twists, like, certain characters, like, the ending and stuff like that. So, I will do my absolute very best not to spoil anything. I will play as if it was my first time. Like when stuff happens, I'm not like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Like, I won't be able to do that. But for the most part, I won't say what is going to happen or anything like that. But for like topics that arise, like in the previous talk between my dad and Duncan, they talked about the right of conscription. The right of conscription allows Grey Wardens to conscript anybody who they want, and it's all legal throughout all the countries throughout the land. In this specific universe, the right of conscription would allow him to take me regardless of if I wanted to go, or if my dad wasn't going to let me to go, or even if I was a prisoner set to be executed. If they used the right of conscription on me, there's nothing they can do. They take me, and I go through the joining process to become a Grey Warden. So when stuff like that arises in the game, I'll do my best to explain it, because there are lots of Kotek, like books in the game, scrolls and stuff like that to read. I probably won't be like reading them all, if any, to be quite honest. Like, I'll go and pick them up and stuff like that. But for the most part, I probably won't be reading them. But just like a little bit of a heads up of what to expect throughout the playthrough of this game. So right there, you got the right of conscription. And right now, my dad wants me to go find my brother Fergus to let him know that he needs to go lead the troops down to Ostagar, which is where the king and all the other Grey Wardens are at, because that's where they're fighting the Darkspawn. But as you can see, since this is an RPG, this isn't an open world RPG. This is kind of like before those became like big. But still an RPG, so I don't exactly have to go immediately. Like, I can talk to my dad, I can talk to Duncan, I can talk to Arl Howe. And their importance is, however important they are, is the color of their name. So, orange is like second tier of like importance. Like, if you're talking about like, they're important people, but I think like the most important is yellow, and then it goes orange, and then I think white. Everything else is white. But we'll talk to Duncan.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone.
I was hoping to ask you a quick question or two.
Very well. I doubt your father would mind a slight delay.
I won't ask all of these just because I know for my own like benefit, I already know like the answers to stuff like that. But I'll ask like a couple just so like get a little bit more immersed in the world. And it's been a long time since I've played too, so. Did you really come all this way to see Sir Gilmore?
I have only found a couple of worthy candidates in my travels across Ferelden. Your father invited me here, suggesting this Sir Gilmore. If he is not suitable, I will head south and join up with the king.
Would you really recruit me into the Grey Wardens?
Of course. You are young, skilled, and eager for battle. Also, I heard. The Grey Wardens do not recruit simply anybody. And I intend no flattery when I say you show promise. The old treaties allow me to conscript you even against your father's wishes, but I will not do so. Our order is too small to risk animosity with Ferelden's nobility.
I'm glad I am to hear it.
It's tempting, your lordship, but I'm content to see what other candidates your castle offers.
So right there, you got a little bit of a glimpse into the world of, and like the politics of Ferelden, which is the country that we live in, and also a little bit of the right of conscription. It didn't really necessarily go into like great depth about what it could do, but obviously you get the gist of it, and we'll leave it there.
Until we speak again.
We'll go ahead and speak to Hal a little bit.
Yes?
We won't do anything like this. We'll ask about, I trust the delay with your men is nothing serious.
Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about.
I just want to wish you well, Arl.
I thank you. That is quite unnecessary.
So, and I think I got it wrong. I'm pretty sure orange is like top tier of important people, and then it goes yellow. But yeah. So, oh, your cutscene.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Well, hello to you too.
Pardon my
Mr.
manners,
Gilmore.
my lord. It's simply that I've been looking all over the castle for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
Nana's just blowing off steam. She's always been like that.
Your mother disagrees. She insists you collect the dog, and quickly. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
Then I guess I should go collect him.
That would be wise, before Nan tears down the walls. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
To the kitchen, then.
Just follow the yelling. When Nan's unhappy, she makes sure everyone knows it.
So we just met Sir Gilmore. This is who Duncan was coming to come take a look at for recruiting of the Grey Warden. So, but now we have to go collect my dog.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves. I swear it.
Calm down.
So slaves
Goldman.
are not
We've
slaves.
come to help.
Elves are kind of like
You and
servants,
you.
like the
Your
servant
bloody
class
mongrel keeps getting into my
in
larder.
this game.
That
They're not. They
beast
used
should
to be
put
slaves,
down.
however. I'm sorry, he's bothering you, Nan. He's not a mongrel. He's a. Maybe you should be put down. Like I said, I'm not that mean. I'll be nice.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Like, they're really mean to the elves. Like, they really are the servant class. Let's open the door. And that is how dogs look in this game. Kind of scary. But they're called Mabari.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here?
What a smart boy you are. Oh, yes you are.
Oh, encourage the hound, why don't you? No wonder he keeps giving Nan fits.
Always praise your dog.
He does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that?
So we gotta name our dog. Looking back on this, I should have named my dog after my cat. And my character after me or something. We'll name it after my German Shepherd who's upstairs. His name is Memphis.
We're going to be attacked.
Oh, and now we're fighting giant rats.
All right. Yes, and I'm on. Got one. And I'm on. All right. Going. Yes.
Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all.
Maybe it's just a coincidence. Those were very large rats.
I've seen larger. They come up from the Kakari wilds sometimes. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Jarl's men.
Alright. So I found elf fruit. This is like for like crafting and stuff like that. Let's go out here.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Actually, he was defending your larder from rats.
What?
The
Rats?
large ones.
Not the large grey ones.
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
My faithful warhound made sure it's safe.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog.
I feel like that's everybody with dogs.
Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
They always just succumb to their cuteness. Exploring a little bit. Oh, never mind, I forgot. So you can't unlock doors unless you're a rogue, and I'm a warrior, so I have insufficient lockpicking skills.
Good evening, my lord.
What's in here? So up there is my mom. That'll trigger another cutscene. History for Eldens.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
Still the same taskmaster, I see.
If the mind is not exercised, it withers just as the body does. Perhaps you'd care to join me in teaching the lesson?
Certainly, I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
When our line was founded.
Records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child? Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tasks me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern. The history between the Couslands and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
So I asked about the relationship with Howe, or Arl Howe in our family, and Orlais is another country. Ferelden is a country, and I'll just keep saying this until it sticks in your mind, and Orlais is another country. If I were to, like, put these into, like, real places, Ferelden's like America, and Orlais is like France. So... when did Orlais occupy High Ever? Which is the castle you live in?
During your grandfather's rule. Of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near High Ever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the Ternier's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
But my father and Al Howe are old friends.
The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Logain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Kaelin, to fight the Darkspawn.
Time to end the lesson, I think.
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself.
And that's why I'm going around, like, picking up some, like, information and stuff like that just for everybody else's benefit. And again, my video has run a little bit longer than I wanted. The first one's probably like 14 minutes. This one's about to hit 19 minutes. So I'll go ahead and cut myself off here, and then I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.